Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition? Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years
All right.
What's going on with her? All right, stop the game.
Are we here? Am I?
We are here.
Here.
1 second. I'll play it on my end.
Remember that song? Are we on the air? Are we on the air?
We are
Definitely on the air. Don't worry about it, Brother Tony. Let's just get started.
All right, let's get started. Go ahead, Brother Philip.
Right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and enemies, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of the one most high, true and living God, to whom all holy praises are due, we thank Almighty God Allah for coming to us in the person of Master Fard Muhammad and raising up the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the exalted Christ, and giving us an extension of time in the Messiah in our midst, in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And in their names, we greet you all in the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Sir.
Okay, all right. Well, if you're over there in Africa, in French-speaking Africa, we'll say bonjour, bonsoir, wherever you are. If you are over in Central and South America, we'll say buenas tardes, como estás? And for everybody that's anywhere else, we'll say what's up, what's happening, wagwan, what the deal? This is the Seventh Week Coalition Thursday Night Talks, and we welcome you all to another fabulous night. I got my co-hosts that are here with us this evening. We got up there in the top left-hand corner our brother Tony Muhammad. Then we got right underneath brother Tony Muhammad, we got our brother from out of Jacksonville, Florida. We got brother Mark X is in the building. What's up, brother Mark? How you feeling?
Feeling strong, man. Let's do this.
Good, good. And she just popped in right quick. You know how she do it. Over there, live and in full effect from.
She ain't gonna allow the technical difficulties to keep her away.
You all see it. You all see it. Representing the ITC. Representing the ITC. We gonna get started real quick. The ITC.
That's right. That's
and
right.
That's the International Training Conference. That's right. I'm ready. Let's go.
play with it if you want, huh, sis?
Yes.
So we have a very exciting show for everybody this evening. And brother Tony, why don't you take us a little bit further into the what the theme of the show is, and then we'll keep it moving.
Absolutely. Tonight we're going to be focusing on the International Training Conference. But beloved family, let me begin properly. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the one God to whom holy praises are forever due, the Lord of the worlds, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, the Supreme Being to whom holy praises are forever due. I am forever thankful to Almighty God Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the exalted Christ, and now Mahdi, the eternal leader of the nation of Islam. And I thank them both for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the one guiding our people, the one who is teaching the multitudes of our people, as is written in the scriptures. He is the Messiah of Allah's Christ. In their divine names, I greet you in peace. We say it in the Arabic language. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. As Brother Philip was saying, buenas noches, buenas tardes, sac passe, all of the beautiful expressions of greetings that our people greet one another with. We are greeting you right now in those beautiful greetings. We are the 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives. The 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives was assembled by our Student Regional Minister, Student Minister Patrick Muhammad, who soon after the Criterion message of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, which was delivered on July 4th, 2020, this august body of brothers and sisters were put together to warn our people about a dangerous and experimental vaccine or inoculation. Mm-hmm. And we had a series of broadcasts. We had town hall meetings, virtual town hall meetings, exposing the reality of the vaccine and what we should do during that time and also in these times to be safe. The breast of the 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives has expanded now through the expression of the nation through which we are able to guide our people to being well and to safety. And so with that, dear family, tonight's program, we are focusing on two specific ministries. The first one is the Ministry of Arts and Culture. And the Ministry of Arts and Culture is the promotion of aesthetic, artistic, and cultural expression in ways that facilitate mental, emotional, and moral upliftment of the members of the society. It includes visual and performing arts, including but not limited to music, film, dance, drama, literature, poetry, visual arts, and sports. It includes promotion of theater companies and audio-visual recordings, presentations, competitions, and compilations, and an annual festival of arts. It extends to a wholesome sports culture for athletic competition and achievement. We're also focusing tonight on the Ministry of Defense, which the International Conference, of course, it's not all about, but to a great degree it is, which we're going to be going into that discussion tonight. The Ministry of Defense is as follows. It ensures the safety, security, and survival of the society and its members, and develops policies and systems relating to the national security of the society, belonging with ensuring safe and decent local neighborhoods. It is also charged with enhancement and protection of military and intelligence assets, structures, and institutions. And so we look forward to having a beautiful and awesome discussion on these ministries here tonight, on the focus of those ministries, but not limited to them. And so with that, I turn it back over to Brother Philip.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, dear brother. Now, we told you we have some extra special guests that are going to be here with us this evening. I believe, do we have the GM? Is he on in the back, y'all? Because we certainly have our wonderful sister, Sister Medina and Sister Nasira, that we could bring them on and start the conversation.
We also have Brother Calvin on.
Yes, Brother Calvin.
Wonderful, wonderful. I know we tried to get that sound right.
Instrument. I just want y'all to be clear. He's a very strong tool for this conference as well. And he's going to get right into it as well. So definitely stay tuned. And he can fight.
So in saying that, why don't we bring our sisters on first? We have our dear sister, Medina Muhammad, who's a Chicago native and Nation of Islam, born and raised from out of Muhammad University of Islam, alumni and vanguard. She's the daughter of Sister Lisa Muhammad and Brother Darrell Muhammad. And at age 19, Our sister Medina received her bachelor's degree in neuroscience from the University of Illinois at Chicago. Her interests are developmental, educational, and childhood psychology, the science of child rearing, artistic expression, music, and serving the community. She intends to connect her passions with her purpose and is working towards establishing a fruitful career in public health with a concentration in mental health. She also seeks to start a nonprofit organization for young women and girls to express themselves artistically through creative outlets and better understand how connecting to oneself helps ground and calm the mind. Sister Medina has participated with the International Training Conference since she was a primary level student, and she has assisted with the ITC Youth Division in various capacities since its inception. She now serves as the youth co-chairperson, and Sister Medina is currently mentoring younger ITC youth development participants and preparing to pass the torch of leadership and some responsibilities onto them. However, she will continue to provide guidance and support as she works in other areas and continues to train under the leadership of the Grand Master Abdulaziz Muhammad. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our sister Medina.
Thank you all for having me. Walaikum salam. 19.
No, 19. That's awesome, Sister Medina. Well, we're going to go ahead and bring in our sister Nasira, who is a 15-year-old sophomore currently in high school. She's been involved with the youth division of the International Training Conference for 2 years and currently serves as the head of the Ministry of Trade and Commerce on her school student council. Really? So your student council got a International Trade and Commerce Committee. Oh, Lord have mercy. I think we might be in good hands. Let me move on. So Sister Nasira lives in Brooklyn, New York, and goes to Muhammad Mosque number 7C, and she's been an MUI student for 6 years and graduated valedictorian of her eighth grade class in 2022. Future plans include pursuing a college education in business and social science. She's also actively involved in the community, serving on the Nation of Islam Youth Committee, and is known for being a team player, working with people, and is a skilled multitasker who approaches tasks logistically rather than emotionally. So when she works, she's committed to work diligently to achieve whatever she's assigned, and is grateful to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and both Grandmaster Abdulaziz Muhammad for this great opportunity to receive training through the ITC, the amazing International Training Conference, and is even more grateful and honored to be a member of the team helping to plan and host it. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, let's bring on our sister Nasira Muhammad.
Woo! Praise.
I know we have our brother Calvin, who's also
and Grandmaster, dear brother.
Grandmaster's on deck.
All
right. Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and bring him on.
Yes. All right.
And while we bring on Grandmaster, we would like to do his bio as well, Brother Tony.
Yes, absolutely. We got to do this real proper like. Grandmaster, cut faster. Go in and on, storm through the ball. The Grandmaster's gonna rock your mind.
Look, you see Grandmaster, I'm representing.
I see you.
Awesome. In Mobile, Alabama in 1958. At 6 years of age, Brother Abdulaziz Muhammad's family moved to Queens, New York, and later Brooklyn, where they joined the Nation of Islam. As a student in the University of Islam, he began training in boxing at age 8 under his oldest brother, Ronald Muhammad, and eventually he began his formal training in the martial arts in the system of Shorin Ryu Karate under Sensei Thomas, and shortly after receiving his yellow belt, he began training with Grandmaster Dr. Moses Powell as a member of the Junior FOI. As a soldier in the Nation of Islam, he's always been ready and willing to serve and train at the request of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. He and his family moved to Chicago in 1995 to take on his assignment of the national trainer of the Nation of Islam, as well as assuming the duties of the first officer at Mas Mariam. He hosted his first national training in 1996 and was eventually promoted to the position of the Central Regional Captain. As he continued to teach and train the men through traveling the country and diligently aiding the Nation of Islam's training to become more efficient and streamlined, Student Supreme Captain Mustafa Farrakhan eventually promoted him to the position of Assistant Supreme Captain. His credentials and experience include, but are not limited to, 10th degree black belt in Sanusi's Real Jiu-Jitsu, 10th degree black belt in Kumite Real Jiu-Jitsu, 6th degree black belt in V Jitsu Te, owner of X-Men Security Company that provided security for many other movie directors, Spike Lee, Projects, New Line Cinema, Universal Studios, Paramount Pictures, and the Hudlin Brothers Film Project. Trainer in the New York Department of Corrections. He's traveled to Korea, the Caribbean islands, Trinidad and Barbados, Bermuda, Puerto Rico, Libya, and other African countries, Turkey, and all over the United States, providing security for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Most importantly, he is striving to be a good Muslim, devoted husband, father, grandfather, and brother. Our dear brother, the Student Assistant Supreme Captain of the Nation of Islam, Grandmaster Abdul Aziz Muhammad.
Praises be to Allah. Listen,
our beautiful brother Calvin has also joined us. Brother Calvin.
Brother Calvin is a very humble brother. But yes. I told you he can fight too, so you have to be scared of the humble brothers that can fight. But he's a very strong instrument in this conference, and we're going to definitely get started with this. And I am so excited because I think, brother GM, I think I'm more excited for this conference than last year.
Really?
I don't know why. Is this something that I think this conference is going to give me? First of all, the conference already gives me more than what I need, but I think it's going to give me something to last for a lifetime in my spirit. I don't know what it is, but Beautiful. I'm definitely coming. I'm definitely going to be there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I am. Listen, I am so geared up. I already, look, my husband, this is, I think, my 4th year going to the conference. The first time my husband drugged me, he was like, this is not just for the FOI. This is not just for FOI. I was like, really? I think it's just an FOI thing. And so he proved me wrong. And so I've been stuck ever since going to the conferences. And every year it gets better and better, detailed. I mean, it's like a mini Savior's Day. Honestly, it's like a mini Savior's Day. You do not want to miss it. I know that I'm like spoiling everything because we have so many questions.
If you remember the year after we were still in the pandemic, but the year we were in Milwaukee, leaders were going up to each other saying Happy Savior's Day.
Right, exactly.
It was good being among each other.
That's right.
Oh, Allah.
Yes. So I want to get started with the first question, right? It says, for this year's International Training Conference, the theme is the writing is on the wall. Training to improve, empower and survive. Why this particular title? And what is the significance and the importance of this title?
You know, the beautiful thing is that, it's so easy for us to come up with a title because we follow the minister.
Yes, sir.
So, I really can't, take the credit, but I do have to say that, in terms of the fine tuning of the words, our team is presented with the theme, and we get themes from all of, everyone who shares a theme, and then we get the whole team to actually choose. We poll it, and we find out which of the titles is most accepted. And this is the title that actually won it. This is the one I chose. So, when I say chose, meaning I polled and put it in, but it was, it came from Sister Lisa. That's Sister Medina's mom.
Praises be to Allah.
And
she Lisa, yes, she's with us now. Sister Lisa, great title, Sister Lisa.
Yes, but really, it's the reason for choosing it, the reason for my acceptance and desire for it is because this is, when we listen to the minister, he is the writing on the wall. He is the message that we need to receive and look at, because if we read the writing on the wall that he has laid out, that has been attempted to be kept suppressed, you see, but he is the writing on the wall, and he is the one they want to erase that writing off of the wall. So it just fits, and then what we try to do is just follow that and make sure that the meat of what comes from the presenters and so forth meet that. So that's yes, ma'am.
Praises be to Allah. Yes, praises be to Allah. So I think it's wonderful, and I think that we are. It's needed, because you're the acknowledgement of look at the wall, and once you look at the wall, you're going to get the answer from the wall. So I love that concept. I really do. Thank you so much, Gian.
Thank you.
It's due to Allah. Well, the next question, dear brother, is, and this is just a basic question that people are wondering, after all the other years, what should we expect for this year's International Training Conference?
In terms of the things that are going to be presented?
Yes.
Okay, well, what I'd like to do is give the staff, I'd like Brother Calvin and Sister Medina to really share, because they're working hard at making these things happen. I don't know if you got a chance to see the believers meeting.
Yes.
And they did such a wonderful job, Sister Medina and Brother Student Minister Daniel, in promoting.
Yes.
So I want to give them a chance to share and answer that question, if you would.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
All right. Yes, sir. If you don't mind, I want to yield to Sister Medina first, because
right.
She is such a fireball. I want to get inspired by what she said.
Praise be to Allah, Brother Calvin. From this year's International Training Conference, you could just really expect just action-packed weekend full of energy. Like Brother Grandmaster Abdulaziz was discussing, the time is so serious, but having this event annually is what continues to remind us of the times and to prepare for the time. So I feel like this year is important. It's very, very important. All the other years were important, but it continues to get more and more valuable because the time continues to get more and more serious. So this year we have so many great things planned. We've been in discussion, having meetings constantly, and just really trying to make sure that everything that we're providing is specific to the specific things that we're dealing with as a people, both Muslim and non-Muslim. So I work specifically with the youth division, and we've been dedicating some power-packed workshops and presenters on our plane. We have Youth Defending Farrakhan. That's our intro workshop. We have Youth Faith and Community Engagement. workshops, Overcoming Imposter Syndrome, Be Alert, Stay Alive, Conscious Collaboration, just things that we know will stimulate the mind and the body. Of course, we have our physical trainings and our self-defense. We have younger youth workshops, 8 to 12 or 8 to 13, where they'll be learning how to eat to live and how to combat bullying and things of that nature. So we're just trying to really follow the times and understand what is really needed in our communities as far as training is concerned, and continuing to pull from what we hear from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan every Savior's Day to just address the issues that we know we're facing as a community. So as far as the broader conference, of course, we're going to make sure that we hone in on the title and the theme. The writing is on the wall. We're going to be doing trainings on how to protect houses of worship. We're inviting mosques and other churches to come and understand how to protect their houses of worship, because we know a lot of things have been happening where people's, religious homes have been taken advantage of, and people don't know what to do because they're scared to, secure their places. And it's just a very interesting time that we're in. Of course, the kingdom has been found wanting, and we have to, do what we can to help usher in the new world by making sure that we're protecting ourselves and keeping in mind, knowing that we have the knowledge that we have, that we're taking advantage of that and preparing ourselves, but also sharing it to the best of our ability that we can. So of course, Brother Calvin can discuss more of what's going to be happening at the broader conference, because I'm more involved with the youth division, but of course I'm just looking forward to everything that we have in store.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And if there's any possible way that I can add to that, first and foremost, I'm honored to join a Student Assistant Supreme Captain on this platform with these powerful sisters, and honored to be a member of the Nation of Islam under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and a part of this beautiful training. One of the things, if I could echo Sister Medina, one of the things that I am extremely excited for, that from the early days of the national training until now, the national training is now the international training, which has grown into an actual institution. And so this institution has grown so much to where we have divisions. So of course, we're going to cover our security. The security is going to make sure that we're on deck. We've had evolving security since the beginning of the national training. We always have certain staples within the national training for security for both the brothers and the sisters. Sister Medina mentioned the protecting our houses of worship. That's one of the things that's written on the wall. The handwriting is written on the wall about our houses of worship. And so not only will we have our security training, there are other auxiliary trainings that will go on, of course, using how to eat to live as a base. There's workshops that we will have not just on proper nutrition, but how to cultivate your own nutrition through growing it yourself. And so we have subject matter experts that come in and help to teach. Well, whether you live in an apartment and you got a pot, or you have 5 to 10 acres, they teach you what you can do with that, because the handwriting is written on the wall. We have teams that are emergency response teams that teach us what to do in case the critical infrastructure gets shut down. I don't know if you all were aware, but in the history of the Civil War, the Gettysburg battle was one of the bloodiest battles in the history of the Civil War.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
know that military experts say that the cause of the Battle of Gettysburg is shoes? That one side, because it was winter, one side had ran out of resources and they didn't have shoes. The soldiers were dying from frostbite, so they were forced to attack the other side just to get shoes, and it turned into the bloodiest battle in the Civil War. And so we have teams that come in and teach and train to make sure that we know what to do and we don't get caught because the handwriting is on the wall. There are micro security self-defense classes to teach you how to sterilize your environment. There are so many classes that go into detail that you want to make sure you're there. And we're not even mentioning, or we haven't even mentioned those things that teach you to take care of your mind. We're not even mentioning those things that are critical for us in the Nation of Islam on defending the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So all I can say is you want to make sure you're there. You don't want to miss either one of those workshops.
Allahu Akbar.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you, Brother Calvin.
Yes, sir.
If I could ask my a question. According to the website, this issue has been addressed already, but I would like for you all to expound a little bit on this. According to the website Gun Violence Archive, in 2023, there were over 600 mass shootings in the United States. So far in 2024, there have been 225. Sister Medina mentioned that we are expecting to have particular types of trainings for churches, but in terms of just overall mass shootings, what kind of training are we expecting, and what would be the vision in having churches and other organizations among our people that are not necessarily registered members of the Nation of Islam? What type of trainings should they receive at the national training?
Well, that's an excellent question. Thank you. We have to follow the instruction of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and he was it 2 years ago, or was it last year, at the close of Ramadan, gave an instruction. I think it was 2 years ago, right?
Yes, sir.
At the close of Ramadan, he said that the churches, the masjids, they need training because of what's going on. The minister can foresee all of this. We've been taught. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad shared these things, and it's coming to fruition right now. So yes, and that's why we have opened it to the general public, if you will, our community, to come on in and take part so that they can be prepared. One of the greatest problems in this mass shooting situation is fear. When we fear the enemy, which is whomever is behind the gun.
Yes, sir.
When they come in, what they find, and when you look at it, everybody runs to take some kind of cover. And even when we saw the masjid that was in New Zealand,
yes,
when
sir.
it was there, you saw that there were men that were present, and the women and children, they were having, I don't know if it was Friday but they had something going on there where they became just hiding, and he was just picking them off, all of the women and the children. But there were men that ran past him. Of course they got shot, but they weren't running to him.
Right.
And we just had a situation, what all have to understand is that to save your life is you cannot run away trying to seek your life and not fight against the enemy who's trying to take your life. So when they see that, it changes, and the fear will jump into the person who is creating the fear. And so in terms of that, we have to give that to our people. We have to share that. So it will be a workshop on that. We will have a discussion, in fact, where Sister Captain Jana out of the Eastern region, she is the regional captain, and you have Sister Captain Nuseba and myself. We will have a workshop dealing with this in a way that we will go over various things with our community, and then also we will do some other things where it gives them some more specifics of how to. And then it's not just the conference. We're going to look to help them in more by going to where they are.
Yes, sir.
So I do have some churches now. I have a church that I'm working with their security team, and and they're fairly large church as well. So, you know, it's just so much that we have to do in such a short time, but we still have to do our best to make that happen.
Yes, sir, beloved. All praise due to Allah.
Anyone else want to speak on that?
Sister Nazira had her hand up.
Yes, adding on to that, when it comes to active shooting, I go to an MUI and we go to school in the mosque. So, and you know, everything that's going on with the lawsuit and everything that's going on with the minister, people don't like the minister. So anybody could come up in the mosque and start trying to shoot up all the children. So these active shooter drills are really beneficial to a lot of children and a lot of adults, because I know some are, obviously our teachers will go in and save our students, but you know, we also want our students to be able to help themselves and be able to save themselves if anything like that were to happen, God forbid. And even living in New York, it's just really hard because everyone always has a gun on them, or everyone always has a weapon on them for safety. And
Right.
sometimes it is generally for safety, but some people just want to shoot up places. So active shooter drills and like weapon safety is a really beneficial and really important thing to us youth. So I really thank you, Grandmaster, for having those workshops.
And let me say this, that's very, very good. And I just did a drill, a training at Muhammad University in Chicago, where the first part is, you know, what, you know, they should do, how they should move. Brother Emmanuel Muhammad, who is law enforcement, and he's been a trainer of law enforcement police in Chicago, in the academy, and he did the first portion. He and his family, which is a team. I don't want to just say family like just a family team, but they have all been training to deliver that, and they will be doing a training at the conference as well. But after he did his portion, I came, and it was for the brother, all of the brothers, and then we waited. We did the sisters afterwards, and in that training, it was not just about hide, you know, run, hide, and there are three letters that yes, and fight, run, hide, and fight. So I just gave some understanding of what that really meant. Run is not running in a cowardly way.
Right.
Running is positioning yourself in the best place.
Right.
So I don't want them to have the mind that you got to run away and then you got to hide. But no, you run to move to your area that you need to be. Your hiding is hiding you're positioning yourself in such a way that you do not want to be seen to draw them in. And then the fight is what we did. And we had all of them, even from the kindergarten group. They had to go and attack the person who was coming in, taking the gun to the ground, grabbing the legs, grabbing the arm, and everybody go in. And at the end of the day, that one who came in to kill should not be able to walk out of the door alive.
Right.
So that's something that we are doing, and we're going to do more of it for all of the MUIs if Allah permits.
Grandmaster, if I could comment on that very quickly, is that's what's lacking in the training that's going on in the world, as the way that they're teaching it, because they could take one of us out, but they can't take all of us.
That's right.
And
that's right.
We have to be the example, Grandmaster, and with your example in showing the alternative, the true alternative on how to deal with mass shootings.
Well, you know, we're following the example.
Yes,
and
sir.
If we follow him and we fall in ranks, we're going to be good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I believe Sister Medina has.
So in saying that, Grandmaster, let's say some. Yes,
Brother Philip. Yes, Sister Medina has a comment. She had her hand. She had
very
politely.
She
had her hand.
Oh, yes, I just wanted to briefly add that I was blessed to be in attendance when Grandmaster Abdulaziz did that workshop and at MUI, and it was, the children were so engaged, and they were so involved in the process. And I feel like the original question pointed to basically like, I see you're doing, you know, how's the worship, but what about active shooting? And I honestly feel like both of those things go hand in hand. Even if it wasn't an active shooter workshop, anybody can benefit in knowing, because you're dealing with people who don't protect their homes or anything at all. Like they might have a gun in their drawer, but that's it. They don't know how to fight. They don't know how to find a place and, you know, wait to see if somebody's coming. So I think that whatever is being offered at the training conference, especially as far as the shooting is concerned and protecting your home and protecting yourself and your family, all of that is relevant to anybody who, even if you've never been to a church before, you can use that same concept to apply to how to protect your home, or how to protect your parents' home, or how to protect your store, how to protect wherever you're at, because the concept is the concept. The person's walking in and they have the intent to harm or kill. What are you going to do in that instance? And to know that that happens to children is saddening. But like the brother was saying, the difference between us and a lot of other people is that we let the fear cause us to not make sound decisions. But when you're constantly training the young and the old, and you have the opportunity to train the young and the old, the young, especially in the Nation of Islam, are built to really have no fears. You'll see a lot of the children just are fearless, and you can see the difference, the stark difference between somebody who has the teaching, has been invigorated and given that light, versus somebody who hasn't yet got it yet. So if you know anybody who you know anybody first of all would benefit from what is being offered at the International Training Conference, but the training is universal, and I feel like that's why it's open, because the training is universal. The nation and the teachers are universal, but this specific training is extremely universal. You need to know how to defend yourself. You need to know how to feed your body healthy foods. You need to know how to protect your home. You need to know how to protect your church, your store, whatever thing that you own. You need to know what is happening in the world and be actively involved in that, so you can know how to protect yourself and protect your family. And that's why we have all types of things for the young and the old, because a lot of people are sick these days. They're not going to say, oh, well, she's 8, so I'm not going to hurt her. People intentionally go into places trying to hurt children. That's so right. Keeping that in mind, I think that it's really just universal. And the Grandmaster Abdulaziz and all the entire team have done a great job in just making sure that we all understand that it's not this thing that we say, we have the training and we're just going to keep it to ourselves and we're the elite squad of the. It's not like that. When you get the information, you share it, and we've been blessed to continue to be doing this for 29 years. I'm only 20. So 9 of those years that we've been doing this, and it's only gotten better and better. So I just wanted to share that.
All praise due to Allah.
Awesome.
All praises due to
Yes,
Allah.
all praises due to Allah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sister Medina. I can see Jim with a big smile on his face saying, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right.
That's right.
So thank you again, Sister Medina, for that. A question for you, Jim. Let's say someone is in their early 50s, right? With minimal martial arts training, but they desire to become proficient in martial arts and start the journey toward maybe even getting a black belt. What steps would you recommend for somebody in their 50s who are now beginning to train in light of all that was said previously? Where should they start?
Well, they should start, it has started if they have the desire. Desire feeds the will. And in getting having that desire and it being fed, now we can go someplace with the mindset that we want to accomplish something. And they need to find a location that they can go to that is that has the same kind of mindset that they want to acquire. Don't just go to any location. You should assess the school and see, and you can ask a question. I mean, many times when you go to some training, a dojo or whatever, it's they who ask you questions. But, coming from where they should be coming from, and where we come from, we should be asking them some questions as it relates to, you know, the concepts that they teach. It should follow, you know, but the beautiful part is if the training is adequate or good, you know, then they already have a training that is given, that their mind is going to be taken, which is Islam. So they have Islam, and don't separate Islam from your training. No. See, my Islam and my training came together. It wasn't, it was another part of me. You know, it was another part. So the training came into me was a physical training that was providing me with things, and it was more than physical. I don't want to limit it like that. But I had the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm a youth in Muhammad University, and so I had Islam, and I never really looked at them as being separate. As years went on, I started seeing how it was separate for others, but I never took it that way. So I'm just saying that they have the component that provides a way for them to make sure that they are putting in their minds what is needed. Because many times you go to a dojo and they're not Muslim, they can teach you how to physically do what is needed to acquire a black belt, but not necessarily needed to acquire godship. So if you can line up godship and your rank to be in line with each other, then I think, you know, we got something else going on. So I don't know. I pray that was sufficient.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All praise is due to Allah. Well, I want to go to the next question. Dear family.
Oh, you have sister is trying to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. If I may add on to what Grandmaster said, it is important to train our minds and our bodies. You can't cook without having an egg in the pan. You have to know, you have to have both to be able to succeed in life. Like, I'm 15, I'm training to become a trainer, but I'm also training the mind of God. Sister Medina is 20 years old. The training conference has been going on for 20 years. She got her bachelor's degree at 19. She's training her mind and she's training her body. Like, this is amazing. Yeah, thank you again, Grandmaster, for starting the training conference in the first place. It's amazing. Like, we're all saviors. We're all doing our best to train both our minds and our bodies. So thank you again.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Sister Nasir.
All praise is due to Allah.
Our future is secure. Praise be to Allah. The next question that we have, dear family, how well the body functions is directly related to how well the mind functions. Can we expect workshops that address the importance of mental health and how to keep the mind healthy?
Yes. We do. We're always, but it's just the reverse, though. Okay. The mind, how the mind works is going to help how the body works. So it's not in the reverse, but it is that way. So if you came to my dojo, my objective is to give you instructions, but I'm feeding your thinking so that your thinking is going to help me get better results from you. So I gotta feed you with that. So so in terms of dealing with the mind, I mean, really, when we're talking about mental health and all of these aspects are present and are being taught. There are various aspects, you know, in the youth. We have the youth. We have the general group, which are not aligned with any particular division in our nation. And then we have other divisions in our nation also that are receiving instruction. So it's full of building the mind so that it can guide the body to do whatever, you know. And I really love when we're talking, you know, or listening to the minister, especially during the time when he was showing us in his 60s, right? Like at 60, he was lifting crazy weight. He was doing so much before the surgery.
Right.
He was doing so much, and it let us know that the mind is capable of overcoming feats that the normal person would look at and would be blown away. No, I can't do that. Well, that person was thinking from their muscles. They weren't thinking from their mind. All right. Medina had her hand up, so maybe she has some more to share in that area.
Yes, sir. I was just going to add and say that we do have many workshops that cater more to the mental health. I think the more advanced that we get in understanding the mental, the more we feel like necessary to, you know, have workshops like that. So of course we have men's only and women's only workshops, and I can speak for the women's only. Those are more geared to maintaining the spirit and dealing with maybe abuse and domestic violence, things of that nature that people experience. So those workshops are catered to mental health. But we also, even in our 8 to 12-year-old categories, we have mental health workshops we're going to be discussing, because those things are very important to understand at a younger age. Getting to the older categories, we have a workshop, like I mentioned earlier, called Overcoming Imposter Syndrome. And imposter syndrome is basically when you are accepted into something, or you've made it to a certain extent in some type of degree, or, you know, job, work, or whatever, that you just feel like you don't belong. Like you feel like, oh, this must have been an accident. I'm the only person that's suffering. I'm the only person that's doing bad, and everybody else seems to be doing so much greater than me. And I think that that's definitely something that many people deal with, both youth and older adults, but definitely youth, with the high pressure, high functioning world that we're living in, can sometimes feel a lot like you might be much farther behind than other people are. And I actually pitched that idea for our workshop this year, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. But of course, like Brother Grandmaster Abdulaziz was saying, like, the mental health is so important. Sometimes we could be on autopilot in everything that we do. We work to the point where we not even thinking about what's in here. But the way that I see it, I just began understanding this last year, is that when we talk about being prepared to defend ourselves, to defend our minds, to defend our lives and other people's lives, if we're not here, we won't be able to react in the moment. We won't be able to, you know, make sure that things are done at the time it needs to be done. The training that we received 5 years ago, or even last month, might not kick in if our minds are not right. So I definitely think that it's very important that we acknowledge the importance of positive mental health and positive practices to enhance our mental health. Because again, the world that we're living in, it's like a constant cycle of pushing you down into a further depression. The more you're reminded of everything that's happening with, you know, prices of things going up, and then jobs being less, and homelessness increasing, and everything happening internationally, it's easy to, you know, get a little lost and be stuck in a certain place. But we're definitely going to be talking a lot of mental health at the training conference, because the spiritual and the mental is just as important as the physical. It enhances your ability to really be able to maintain and make greater what you're able to do in the physical. So I'm definitely excited for that.
Thank you, Jesse.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you. And thank you for making that submission.
Yes.
Because I was first introduced to that idea of imposter syndrome a few years ago. And when I read it as a mental condition, I was like, man, when you're in the circle of the gods and you around such beautiful brothers and sisters, sometimes you begin to question yourself. Like, man, do I really belong here? Should I really be here? Man, look at this brother. Man, look at this. So thank you, Sister Medina. And thank you for breaking that down as well.
Brother Philip, if I could just, my training in the Nation of Islam has helped me so much in handling situations. I'm a school teacher by profession. Yes. And it's just out of the many incidents that I've experienced, it's not about beating people up. It's about knowing how to de-escalate situations and handle situations properly.
Yes.
I remember one incident in one of the schools that I've worked at. One child got up in a female security officer's face and was threatening to beat her up. And at that moment, I'm like, oh, hold up, wait. She's security, but at that point, I'm a school teacher. I'm security.
Yeah, that's right.
I had to put my FOI hat on. I'm like, oh, hell no. I got a desk, put it in between her and the child. I said, you walk that way. This child lost his mind. He just walked out of the classroom. Had I not done that, it would have led to a situation. And Brother Philip, I was called down to the principal's office soon after and said, well, why did you intervene? And that should have been security. Security was not mentally equipped to handle the situation.
Right.
I had to step in. Oh, but what you did was wrong. Show me that it was wrong. And go ahead and make a report on me if you feel like it was wrong. I challenge you to do it.
Yes.
The principal got quiet, like, you're talking to me like this? I absolutely am talking to you like this. So because we're trying to function in a world that is not congruent to who we truly are.
That's right.
This is truly why we are suffering the way that we are.
That's right.
So, Sister Medina, that was a powerful testimony, dear sister. We thank you for your words.
Praise be to
Yes, yes. All right. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Coming in a little late, but I'm here. So good to see you, brother.
Come on now. I see
all
you.
Right. Yes, sir. So good to be here with you all. All right. So in the name of Allah, the Mystic, the Merciful, the question is, how can brothers and sisters best prepare themselves in advance for this training so they can be fully prepared and take full advantage of it? And do you have a preparation checklist?
If I may,
please.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
No.
Yes. So first and foremost, I would say the first thing you have to do to prepare for this training is you have to solidify and make the intent solid, and that means you have to register.
That's
right. Now you have to go to www.thevskjujitsu.com, and it's not about money, but it's something that happens when you cross the threshold of theory into practice. When you make that commitment, something happens within the mind that says, "Okay, it's real now." And then from that point, I know some people think, I need to work out. I need to do this. I need to do that. That's stuff that you, of course, need to be doing anyway. But you should really prepare yourself to be as open as you can when you come to the national training. One thing I learned under Grandmaster Abdul Aziz Muhammad when I first came to my first national training is that when you come to the training, you are getting life-saving information. And so there's no idle time. Every workshop that you can possibly be in, you want to prepare the mind to say that I am going to be in that workout. And so the first thing you need to do is register. The second thing you need to do that is very important is come ready to be open, learn. And then the last thing that you need to do is make sure that you're intent on whatever you learn, that the national training is not the only time you're going to learn. So you have to keep it into practice all year round. And so make that intent, open your mind, and make sure that you're not saying that it's stopping after the national training, but it's just beginning.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Sister Medina?
Yes, ma'am. I just want to say, in addition, in preparation, make sure you bring a little pocket change because we do have vending.
Yes.
And also make sure you bring your best dress because we have an awards banquet that Saturday.
Okay.
So just make sure that you're ready to be all in. I always say this every time we do one of these, like, you might make a little dent in your pockets, but what kind of investment is your life worth? How much are you worth?
Come on
now. Pay a little 100 something for this ticket, and then you stay in a hotel room, but you're learning what people learn within years of training in a dojo. You're learning on one weekend,
right,
to prepare yourself for the rest of your life. So it's like, yes, make sure you do all those things that Brother Calvin said, but also make sure you bring some money to support vending, and make sure that you bring your best dress outfit for Saturday's awards banquet, dinner, and live entertainment. We're really trying to make sure that it's one of those things where people are talking about it for the rest of the year until the next event comes. And, just make sure that you prepared yourself, again, mentally, physically, and spiritually for what's to come, because we don't play around when it comes to trying to make sure that believers have a good time. So
awesome.
Anybody who comes.
Yes. And I wanted to add to this, when Brother Calvin talked about is not about, the money. And in truth, money it's an energy. It's an energy. Mm-hmm. So when we exchange that many consider value, as Sister Medina spoke to, our body, investing in our body. Because we are the true value. We are the true value. We the real money. We the real currency.
That's right.
So I really want us to, consider that and recognize that this investment in yourself, this is charity. This is charity, and you will be blessed tenfold. Be blessed tenfold by participating in this in the conference that's coming up, the training conference. So when we considering money, take back your power from this money, because you are the true currency and the true value.
Absolutely.
All right. That's how they say charity begins at home, right?
That's right. That's right.
And Brother Philip, this is the money on yourself. Come on.
Alhamdulillah. Brother, anyone else want to add anything to that before we move on? Any other?
I will acquiesce. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. So I want to go back to the question. Oh, sorry. I want to go back to the question because it was how could families prepare for things like this. I wanted to mention that there is actually a plenary session that is going on. It's addressing how families can recognize, prepare, and combat for the attack on Black youth. And Grandmaster is wisely having a joint workshop at that plenary session. I also wanted to mention how there was an FOI in the emergency room. Brother Dr. Abdul Hassan, he's day in and day out, he sees what's going on with our Black youth and the standpoint in violence and all that going on in the world. The shootings, the children getting hurt, children carrying guns, walking around. It's actually insane how this stuff is happening. So I'm glad that we have the training conference that children can go there and learn how to properly save themselves and how to properly how to mentally check somebody to see if they have a certain demeanor going towards you or talking to you. So yes.
Beautiful. And there's child care as well.
Yeah, awesome. So we technically don't have a checklist. We don't have a physical checklist, which we can create one from this today.
Yes, ma'am. No, yes, that's right. Yes. That's right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
So what he's saying is that basically there's really no excuse for you to not come to the training conference this year. We got child care, we got youth workshops, we got young adult workshops, we got adult, women's only, men's only, martial arts, Muslim, non-Muslim. He said you need to be there on the weekend of July 20th.
Praise be to Allah. Wonderful. Thank you, Sister Medina. Brother GM, there's a question I wanted to ask you a long time. Say that again, Brother Tony. Oh, Sister Kalila.
Sister Kalila's back.
So brother GM, in the past, and you mentioned it, or rather, I mentioned it in the bio, that many FOI have provided high-end security services for entertainers and athletes and people of consequence. There's this very famous picture of Tupac Shakur leaving the hospital after getting shot the first time, and he's surrounded by security that was in New York. And I've always wanted to ask you if you recognize anybody that's in the picture, and I just wanted to pull the picture up right quick and let me see if you recognize anyone in the picture, Brother GM. Is the picture up?
I don't
No,
see
not
it.
yet. It's not. No, it's not sharing your screen yet.
I had it up
Is
for
it
you,
because
Brother
my
Philip,
internet?
too. But I'm
Please
trying to
put it up,
get
Sister
in.
Kalila.
I'm bobbing and weaving here. Hold on. Let me see
Oh man, the
if I can
question
pull
is
it up.
losing its thunder.
I'm breaking it up.
I'm like,
Sorry. Listen.
Or maybe you could send it to me.
So yeah, in the meantime, while Sister Kalila is pulling it up, that checklist that we were talking about. So the conference is it 2 or 3 days totally?
Well, it's 3 days because it's going to culminate at the end with a powerful competition where we're going to have competitors competing, so you'll be able to participate and or spectate. You know, so there's also a level of training that's going to be there from some of the top fighters in the country. They'll be present as well. So yes, it's going to be excellent. So that's on the 28th.
All right, I think I got it up, y'all.
All right.
Is it coming up? There we go.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Can you open it up a little bit, Sister Kalila?
I'm
Brother
trying the
Grandmaster,
best I
do you
She's fighting through technical difficulties.
I'm literally fighting through technical difficulties at this moment. I can make it, but it's just going to make the picture.
Do you recognize anybody in these pictures, sir?
It looks familiar. There's a few people that look familiar to me. You know, the fellow with the long trench over there. I knew him. and the brother all the way over on the opposite side, you just see kind of his head and arm. That's my older brother, Wayne, who is also someone who's been around for a long time. He's passed. Now all praises are due to Allah, and may Allah forever be pleased with him. And you have the brother to his left is a brother by the name of Richard out of New York, and I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to get that brother with the leather though.
As they say, righteous sharp.
Oh yes.
This is such a famous picture. And one day I was looking at, I said, whoa, wait a minute. And I had to zoom in and I said, that looks like the Grandmaster there just a few days ago. Right. Yeah, that's a very famous picture, Grandmaster. And I know that's like hip hop archives. Well, do you remember that day? What was that day like, brother?
Well, it was really a few days prior to as well, and what that was, they called me right after he had gotten shot. His attorney called me, my company, to get with him. I mean, you know, they really should have called me before he got shot. Yes, I don't believe that would have happened, but nonetheless. When they called me, I went to the hospital, locked the hospital down like we would do, for our principal. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan set things up in the hospital, and from that point, one thing led to the next, and then we had to leave. It was actually a situation where Tupac had, he was not clear that he was safe. Even being in the not operating room, but in ICU. Yeah, he was in ICU, and we had everything set up at that point, and we got to the end of the day, which was around the clock situation for us. But once I had come down, and the brother that I had up on the door, I seen he came through the door downstairs, and I'm like, why are you here? And Tupac came from that point, and he wanted to leave because he really was troubled that someone else was going to try, or someone was trying to get to him. And then we had to move, and we went to various locations and secured. And then that next morning is when we had to go to the court with him. And from there, we went to another hospital under an assumed name that we set up, and we, things went from there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely a huge part of that history right there. But thank you for clearing that up. I could cross that off my list now of questions I need answered.
A moment in hip hop history involving the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right. That's right.
Grandmaster and everyone else, I would like everyone, Brother Calvin, Sister Medina, Sister Nazira, I'd like for you to answer this question, because we talk about training is not just at the national training. This is an everyday thing.
Right.
What is your daily regimen like to stay physically, mentally, and spiritually sharp?
Excellent.
We'll let you all go ahead and share some of that. Nasira, Medina, Calvin.
Yes. Daily regimen as a striving Muslim. I like to walk to stay fit. I like to walk anywhere. I like to just keep myself in action. Final Call Radio, making sure that whatever I'm looking at on social media is not incongruent with what I believe. I like to keep a lot of the minister or like stuff that's, inspirational on my timeline. I'm getting back into the dojo, but other than that, I do kickboxing with Brother Sensei Solaritus every Tuesday and Thursday. Things like that. Just making sure that, general order, stuff like that, just making sure that at all times I don't get too lax, because it's easy. I be telling my friends all the time, like, when you get 20 and you're like at that point where you want to be independent and you're like, okay, I'm on my own now, I'm going to do this and that. It's very easy to just throw away all the things that you were taught just because you want to live your own life independently. But I know that in the times that we're living in, that's really not possible. It wouldn't make any sense. So I just remind myself of the general order, to remind myself to always look left and right behind me, and not to be paranoid, but to just keep always on the alert. And with that is the making sure I stay fit physically, mentally, and just constantly using the gifts and talents that I have and constantly working on them on a daily basis to just train myself. Prayer, all of that is involved in my daily routine.
Beautiful.
And I can say that for my daily routine, the beautiful thing is that Islam takes a lot of thinking out of it, because it builds in those 5 pillars that we have. And when you look at those as a prescription, it takes care of a lot of your mental. It takes care of a lot of your spiritual. Along with that, I take a note from our beloved Assistant Supreme Captain, and on how he lives his life. And he takes his note, of course, from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So for me, physically, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, as an instructor under Grandmaster Abdulaziz Muhammad, I'm teaching 2 classes on Tuesday, 2 on Thursday, and 2 on Saturday. And then, for my mentor and to stay focused, I'm attending classes on Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Sunday.
Come on,
And
go ahead.
so 7 days a week, just being involved in the mission and being a student, it keeps me very, very, very fit, and allows me to at least have a foundation by which I don't stray too far off the path. If I do, thankfully, there are people around that can put me back on. But there's a saying that your heredity controls what you can become, but your environment controls what you do become. And so I strive to stay around people who are of like minds, who can, of course, guide me, train me, and keep me on that path as well.
Beautiful.
Sister Nazira, I think you were going to comment.
I was gonna say, for me, my daily regimen. Well, for me, I listen to lectures sometimes. I'll be on Instagram scrolling, and I get the minister having a lecture with the little captions at the bottom. Like Sister Medina said, I'll walk, because I have to not walk to school, but I have to walk to the train station, walk around school, so walking. On Fridays, we have martial arts class. Very bright in the morning, martial arts class, 8 a.m. So that's what we do. So it's very active for me in my life.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And for me, I want to a little correction in terms of, the minister is the example, my example. But I have to say that, I don't get a chance to talk to the minister all the time, but I do get a chance to talk with the Supreme Captain, who speaks to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So I get the words from the minister through Brother Supreme, the Supreme Captain of the Nation of Islam, who is such a great example as well. The things that he has to do, contend with. Some of, when I ask him how is he doing, he'll say, I'm, oh my goodness, the words is, I am enduring, So, he has a lot to endure and deal with in his life. His personal life, as well as the nation part of his life, while he is dealing with various things, he has to also keep the nation in. So that's an example for me, because I have to do those same kinds of things. So my daily is all intertwined in nation, building a business, building men, and I love it. I've told some that I've worked with, I said, listen, it may seem difficult right now, but you got to know that if you didn't have people looking for you to deal with these issues, then you'll be wondering why your phone is not ringing. Of course, it seems like it would be okay, but when you are engaged, you want to stay engaged. So you don't want to open up your mind to something less than. Keep on doing, the greatest things that you can do, as opposed to doing less than great.
Come on, beloved.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Praise be to Allah. Well, as we're approaching the end of our show, GM, there was, and this question really is for everyone as well. There's the famous story of Muhammad Ali, who started boxing after somebody stole his bike, right? He wanted to go get the guys who stole his bike. And when was it, GM, that you first fell in love with martial arts, and you knew that this was a path that you wanted to pursue, and would love to hear the stories of all of our rising senseis and Brother Calvin, who's there. So GM, when did you know you fell in love with martial arts? And I'm going to take the bruises and the blood, sweat, and tears in order to get to that place.
Yes, sir. Well, when I in Muhammad University, I received the training. We had Brother Van, actually, who was teaching, he was under Brother Thomas, but Brother Van came, and that's where I got my yellow belt in karate. But right after that, Brother Leon came that was a brown belt under Master Musa. He's now, we call him Dr. Musa Moses Powell. So, so when he came, that opened me up to, I loved it. I love the fight. I really do. So it was a good thing. I'm so happy that I got it controlled. but what happened was I wanted to go get more, and I went down to the main dojo, and when I went there was a children's class going on. And I was blown away just to walk in and see they were testing. And I can remember one young man, one young brother, he was jumping off of they had a desk on a mat, and he was doing a free, it's called a free ukemi, but it's a free flip that you come down and you land on your back. But he was doing it from the table, and the number that when I came in, he was saying 75.
My God.
I was like, oh my goodness. He did this every time. And then they were doing so I was blown away by the children, not the adults. I didn't see the adults at that time doing anything. It was all that. So that's what excited me. I was tremendously excited. I wanted to get more. And then it just evolved into more. I got what I was asking for, and just to give a little something. I didn't know I was being abused when I was there. and no, this is the truth.
Abused and loved it.
Abuse others. But no, I was blessed to be amongst those old school trainers, and the beauty of that. And I will never. I will always remember them for what I got, and because what I received then is why I'm here right now.
Yes, sir. That's a thank you for that, Grandmaster, because I've never seen a karate movie where the Grandmaster or the sensei was a really nice guy. There's none of those out there. Brother Calvin, Sister Medina, Sister Nasira, your love for martial arts, anything you want to add to it when you fell in love with the art itself? Or are you still working on it?
I'll say my story is not the traditional story on falling in love with the martial arts. I came into the Nation of Islam when I was 13 years old. And prior to that, I was what you would call affiliated. And, and I went to a school where a lot of people were affiliated. And so I saw someone that had a different affiliation from mine. So I figured I would make my move. And so I followed this brother into the restroom, and I went to question him about his affiliation. And that was my introduction to the martial arts. And so at that point, I didn't have, the traditional reaction because I just lost the fight. But after losing that fight, I asked him, I said, man, where'd you learn that? And
after you lost the fight, I said, when did you learn?
and he told me. And believe it or not, he and I both became very good friends, and we joined the Nation of Islam together.
Wow.
And but from that point, once I came into the Nation of Islam, my student captain, I have to give credit to at that time, student captain Charles Muhammad out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yes, sir.
He made it mandatory for us to go to the dojo, and my love just grew from there.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise
wonderful,
be to
wonderful.
Allah.
Anyone else? All right, Sister Kalila.
No.
Oh, no.
Nazira has a comment.
Sister Nazira.
Sorry, my name is Miss Sarah, but
Sarah.
My apologies.
It's okay.
Nasir.
Yeah.
Nasir.
For me, I had a project in 6th grade. We had to choose a ministry, and we had to make a presentation about it. And when I was younger, I was like, I really wanted to get into a fight. Even I didn't know how to fight, but I was like, yeah, I want to do it, because just for like the adrenaline rush, right? And so I chose the Ministry of Defense, and I did this really cool project with galaxy colors. Looking back at it, it didn't look that good, but I know I referenced a lot from NOI.org and from different lectures and all that, and I was really proud of it. So that made me have a certain love for martial arts, and that makes me have like a certain energy towards it, because now when I'm in martial arts class on Fridays, I'm like, yeah, let's do it, let's spar, and my teacher's like, let's practice more.
Awesome.
Sister Medina,
yes, Sister Medina.
Yes, I wanted to add. When you're born in the nation, your parents, they put you in music, they put you in dance, they put you in martial arts. I didn't get the music,
all of that order,
but my mom put me in martial arts at MUI, and that's where it started. And I'm very competitive with myself. Less other people, more with myself, and that started at a young age. So I liked martial arts because I was always able to be like, do I know this kata? Did Brother Dwayne say he liked it? Okay, I need to make it better. Is my hand in the chamber right? Is this doing the thing right? Da, 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 da. And then being able to do that on a consistent basis, having an after school program built on my competitive nature, but also I felt confident in the fact that I'd be able to defend myself if out in the world and something happens to me. Then I used to compete at the training conference back in the day, and I would get beat up, and I would be even more competitive because I'm like, okay, I feel like I know something, but now I'm letting this white girl punch me in the face. That's what works for my spirit. I gotta be better and better. And now being older, being registered, being a vanguard, and really having a unique personal love for the teachings, having the ability to defend yourself and knowing why it's important, that continues to feed my love for martial arts and feed my love for training and studying and things like that in general, because I know that it will be useful, and I know that in the time that it will be useful, I will have it. So I just I love fighting. Like I hate to say it. Like I love the force between a 1 and a 2, and I love when somebody says, "Oh, you didn't do that right. Can you shift your hip that way?" I just like the fact that it is an art, that you can do what you want with it, but at the same time, it's a certain way for you to do it. And I like that there are people that know more and better than me that can train me to be better, because I know ultimately that I'll have to use it at some point. And if not, one thing I also really appreciate about martial arts is that growing up again as a nation baby, going to MUI, you sometimes have a little bit of rage, mainly because you're being taught everything that the people have done to you. And with that comes a certain level of seriousness when it comes to how you move around, how you see people in your life. And because we know the conditions of what we're in and what has happened to us over the years and over the centuries, that kind of rage can't be met with a random, random way of approaching it. So having that knowledge and having that understanding, I feel like it's a certain level of passion and love that comes with it. But at the same time, martial arts is an art. It's not just, I'm going to just throw my hands, da, 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 da. So if something was to happen, I have the knowledge, I have everything else, and I have the structure and the discipline, because it has lots to do with discipline. So it's just like being in, whether you're in USOS or you're training with another person, like Brother Grandmaster Abdulaziz was talking about before, you can learn how to do martial arts, but the Islam really is the main thing that separates us. Right. Having the mindset, like, I'm going to think 5 times before I make this decision. I'm going to weigh my options. I'm not going to react emotionally to the situation, but I'm also going to hit that 1, 2, 3. If you snap kick, you know, possible to ground, you know. So yes, and I'm like I said before, I can't be dishonest. I haven't been in a dojo consistently in a very long time. I'd be kickboxing, but I'm getting back into the dojo because I understand how important it is to train and to constantly and consistently challenge yourself to become better.
Listen, I share those same sentiments. I'm doing kickboxing right now. I've been doing kickboxing for going on 4 years, and it's a love. I mean, because I think I did like 4 arts, and right now I'm doing kickboxing, and it's just something about the gloves, and it's something about just the you know, just punching and, you know, and it's something about just the speed bag. I just
you see how powerful you are. Like, I got that in me.
I feel you, especially the punch, look, especially the speed bag. And I can get fast and fast and fast and fast and fast. It's just something. We here, sis. We here. And I love the fight too. So we are here. We are definitely here. 5 o'clock in the morning, I'll be up at kickboxing. So crazy.
Especially as young women, it's important to know that that type of stuff is not just for men. Like everybody needs to defend themselves. So being able to be in a training with the man who's like, I'm not about to treat you like you're a little girl just because you're in here. You about to
that's right.
The same exact level.
That's right.
It pushes you like, wow, I really got that power in me. You hitting the thing, you like, it's like
right.
It's not no type of baby type of thing. So,
right. Praises be to Allah. And look, and speaking of that, you know, our last question is, I know it's not too late, but I'm just going to ask for the people, you know, you have the people that just sign up super late, like, oh, I'm going to do it. But is it too late to register? Which I know it's not. So you need to start registering right now. And, you know, what is the deadline? Because we want to make sure that everybody gets this information. You know, how can people register? Things of that nature. Because listen, they made it so simple, especially yesterday when we were at at the Believers meeting. They said, just put your phone to the TV and click here, and and everything comes up. I think that's an excellent tool, especially for people who was like, I couldn't find it. I just couldn't find it. Where was it? I just couldn't find it. They have no excuse at all to find the information. But for those people that's in the back, can you give us some information in regards to how they can register? Because me and my husband already registered. We for life. Come on. But for those who have not registered, can you give them some information in regards to how they can register?
Yeah.
Oh, and Sister Lisa already done put it in there. Sister Lisa already on it.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Sister
I was going to say, we
this.
also want to let people know that if you're not able to come, which you should, prioritize that. We're definitely accepting youth donations, youth sponsorships.
There you go.
You can sponsor any youth. I mean, you can sponsor an adult too if you want to, but I'm really emphasizing the youth because the youth don't have the jobs, but they want to come to the training conference. If you know anybody, if you know any organizations, if you know any donors, if you know anybody who's looking for something to put their money to, please donate and sponsor a youth today. We're trying to make sure that everybody's able to benefit from the conference this year.
We need your support.
Yes.
We need your support. That's right. Yeah. Register the entire family. Hey, and listen, when you register the entire family, there's no discounts. So don't be trying to get no discounts. Register, get on and get active. Let's go. I want to see you all there. Grandmaster, do you want us to do a live? What we're doing this year? Are we going live this year? From the conference, what we're doing, Brother Calvin?
Okay. Well, listen. I'm gonna say it. Don't say it too loud though.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna do we're gonna go virtual,
Okay.
but we I'm only saying it to your group, so I can't say it loud.
Okay.
We're gonna go virtual. You won't get it right away, but if you can't, for some reason you really can't, we're gonna make sure we take care of you.
Ooh! But listen, but you don't get the hookup until you hook up. So
That's it.
register, and then you'll get the hookup.
That's right.
And can I say about that question you asked about registration?
Yes.
First and foremost, of course, you have it there on the screen, www.bskjujitsu.com.
That's right.
Black people, we have these habits, we don't pay our bill until we get the notices.
Right.
We just got these habits of working last minute, right?
Travis and bad.
The Nation of Islam is teaching us to change habits, right? We
That's
don't wanna
right.
have the same habits. And I bring that up because if you remember Savior's Day, the hotels and even the seats were selling out.
Right.
Well, that's the same audience coming to the national training. And so what I would desire is, and I know that we would all desire, is that we break a habit, because I can tell you based on the hotels, you do not want to wait.
That's right.
If you can register today, register today. If you can register tomorrow, register tomorrow. Don't wait, because we're seeing signs of us eventually getting to the point where we'll have to cut this thing off because the demand is growing. And so please, you asked for a deadline. I'm afraid to answer that, because we could give you the last day of our registration, but it's possible we might meet capacity before then.
You're going to break the internet, brother. You're going to break the internet. That's what's going to happen. Praises. So no deadline. The deadline is today. Get your tickets.
As soon as possible.
Right.
Right. That's right.
Praises be to Allah. Well, those are all of our questions. Thank you all so very, very much for joining and for allowing us to be in your space. We are looking forward to the 29th. Jeez, the 29th. Brother Jill, 29.
Wow.
This is beautiful.
It is.
And I'm so happy to be a part of it. This monumental celebration, because it's a celebration. And I just want last remarks from you, and we can just do a round table, just last remarks in regards to the show. I'm going to start with you, Brother Jim.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for having us on your show. Your show is, I'm just thankful to be a part of this show. There are a few shows that we deal with, and I love this show, and I'm thankful to Brother Captain Calvin for making the contact to get us on and communicate, and you all had no delay in making it happen for us. Thank you all. You have a wonderful show, and may Allah bless you all with success. I'm looking for everybody to be at the event. Last time y'all were online, y'all went live from the show, from the venue.
And we're going live again. We're going live again. Let's go.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Brother Calvin.
Yes, ma'am. I echo everything that Grandmaster has said. It's an honor and a pleasure to be in you all company. We could have had this. It could have just been a private chat between all of us, and I would have had the same amount of enjoyment in doing so. But I just really quickly, there's a quote that I heard at the national training, one of the first national training from Steve Muhammad, and I always quote it. I know I sound like a broken record to others, but he mentioned at that national training, when he was doing a portion of the physical training, he said that in a crisis situation, the human being has the tendency to fall back on what they've been trained for. And if you have not trained for anything, you have nothing to fall back on. And I just like to say, take that to heart. Assalamu alaikum.
Praises be to Allah.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful.
Sister
Sister
Medina,
Medina.
Sister Nasira.
We're waiting.
I thought you were gonna call my name or
No one
something.
gets away. No one gets away.
Call a name. Call a name.
I just, again, I want to echo everything that they said. I'm very thankful to have been invited to speak and share, a lot of what the youth division and what the training conference has planned this year. I do want to emphasize, as I try to do most times, that it isn't just young women who are doing the youth division. It's also young men. They just are booked and busy, apparently. They can't do no speaking appearances. But they are also active on our team. And we also have them involved in the planning. Inshallah, when we do more of these, they'll be present and available to share their perspectives. But I just want to thank you all for the opportunity. I want to thank Brother Grandmaster Abdulaziz for allowing me to have the position of helping plan the International Training Conference and allowing youth the space to, show their gifts and talents and be able to cultivate them through the planning of it. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all there and looking forward to seeing everyone there at the Tinley Park Convention Center on July the 26th to the 28th. And maybe, we'll be able to see each other, take some pictures, do some more promotion live on the set. At the scene. So thank you all so much. And that's all for me.
All right.
Well, I want to thank my parents, first of all, Sister Tawana and Brother Jonathan. Thank you for for putting me on this earth to do this and to be here and to go to the training conference. Then I want to thank Sister Lisa for allowing me to come onto this. I want to thank you all for inviting me onto it. Thank you so much for this opportunity. This is great. I want to thank Sister Catherine Jana for recommending me to Sister Lisa. So thank you, everybody. I want to thank Brother Grandmaster for starting the training conference 29 years strong.
29
years. And I wanted to thank my friends in the chat for all the support.
Sister Lisa was definitely representing in
yes.
That's Lisa.
She was representing all show.
Like, you will be doing this tonight. And I say yes.
Right. I hear and I obey.
Shout out to my mom. Thank you.
Praises be to Allah.
That brings us towards the end of our show, right, Sister Kalila?
Yes, sir.
We want to thank
Brother Philip. Just one more thing. We have to support the 29th International Martial Arts Conference and Tournament. And go quickly online. Let me see if I can put up the website very quickly. Sister Lisa, thank you so much for putting it on. I'm looking for the website. Well,
you got to be quicker than that, Brother Tony. You got to be quicker than that.
There we go. Bam.
There we go.
Doing like a
yes.
Bam. We all don't know anything about that. Anyway, go on and register, dear family.
Yes.
Get informed what you could expect. Just watch the show. If you miss part of the show and don't know what's going to be taking place, rewatch the show and be informed and register for the conference. Come and join us.
Yes. And Grandmasters is on Facebook. So go on to his Facebook page as well. And it's all just scroll. You can just stroll down and you will see everything, all the information there as well. Because that's, where I go to get my information. So
yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Kalila, talking about support. We need some support also.
I can't get because Sister Felicia, you have to put it up because I am dealing with technical difficulties right now.
So me too over here. Hold on.
I got it.
You got it.
Bam.
There you go.
This is a labor of love from us, but of course there are realities that we have to incur.
Right.
The StreamYard don't provide this for free. These streaming platforms don't give this these platforms out of the kindness of their hearts. Oh, yes, the 7th Region Coalition. Oh, you can do it for free. No, it don't happen like that. We do need your support.
Free has no
learn
value.
something in tonight's broadcast or any of the other broadcasts that we've had that are always about saving lives, geared towards saving lives. And this information tonight about training on multiple aspects of training that you will be receiving at this conference coming up. It is absolutely geared towards saving lives on multiple levels. But we need your support so that we could continue this platform and provide the service for our people. Anything that you're able to give, you could put a couple of dollars on it. You could put $5 on it. Don't sing.
Oh boy, here we go.
You could 20, 25, 100, 1,000, 10,000 if you like to contribute. We're not going to reject it. We're going to accept it and we're going to put it to use, family. We thank you for whatever you could bless us with. And as I said right now, we are going to definitely put it to use. And may Allah, God, continue to bless you and your families. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
I don't think there's no such thing as coincidences. This is the 7th Region Coalition to help save lives. And Muhammad's Mosque number 29 is the headquarters of the 7th Region.
We have to the whole mosque got to be there. We're number 29.
On saying that, we want to thank you again, Brother GM, Brother Calvin, Sister Nasira, Sister Medina, for coming and gracing our space with your face, your talents, your skills. And we look forward to seeing you at the 29th International Martial Arts Conference and Tournament. And as we always end up, we say this is not a gang, this is not a clique, but this is the 7th Region Coalition to help save lives. May Allah continue to bless you all. Assalamu alaikum.
Wow.